Evening, everybody. I'm just trying to check that this is actually working. Yep. Evening, everybody. Yeah, everything seems to be working. So welcome to my live stream. Sorry it wasn't on a Sunday, but as I said in the community tab, I was having fireworks with my family over. We had hot dogs and there was a professional display that just happened to be outside the just the other side of the fence in my back garden. So it's well worth inviting friends and family over and appreciating a free professional display. So hi Amanda, welcome. Hopefully there'll be more people on over the next few minutes. So before I start, I will just go through the basics. So I've been a pharmacist for over 20 years, and obviously I'm in the UK. I will run my disclaimer when I... so obviously anything I say is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and not personal healthcare advice. I always recommend you go to your own healthcare professional, and although I try to keep up to date with as much evidence as I can, it is UK based, so if you are elsewhere in the world, there may be differences in regulations. And I'll also do the other one, my intro. So as it says there, if you can like the stream, that will help encourage other people on YouTube to see this. And if you can subscribe, and then if I do any more live streams or upload any more videos, you can see them straight away. I'm still a long way off ever getting monetized from YouTube. So at the moment, this is just a hobby, which I am enjoying. But yes, it is hard trying to fit that in with life and with still working for the NHS. Okay, hello, Lynn. Yes, I will cover some of the products that may be useful for acne in a 40-year-old. I will just give a bit of background of what happened to me in my 40s and what started me on my skincare journey. Round the chin and lower cheeks can be quite problematic. It can sometimes be worth checking if it is in more this area rather than your T-zone. It can be worth just getting it double checked by a healthcare professional, because something it could be more likely to be is something like perio oral dermatitis, which although it looks like acne, is actually more to do with a breakdown of the skin barrier. And so you actually need to do more of improving the skin barrier rather than trying to use harsh actives to try and get rid of the spots. So hi Sam, hi Tom. I really appreciate Tom. So Tom is one of the amazing moderators and supporters of the Mad About Skin channel, where Rob is, and the Mad About Skin channel and Rob is one of the main influences of why I actually started on my skincare journey and my YouTube journey. So yeah, it's always worth having a look. So I'm just going to give a bit of background. So I am in my mid-40s. When we went into lockdown, I'd always had really good skin, never had a problem. As a side effect of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, my joints and my collagen in my ligaments and cartilage can be falling to pieces, but as a side effect of the Ehlers-Danlos, it does provide nice smooth collagen in the skin, good elasticity, lack of wrinkles, and pretty decent skin. So I managed the most of my 30s with just tea tree oil facial wash and just a basic Boots moisturizing cream, something similar to this. Oh yeah, by the way, I have got all my products that I've used over the last 3 to 4 years here, so I will pick them up as I talk about them. So I managed to get away with just using one of the basic Boots moisturising creams, and that was that. Until we went into lockdown, and I think the stress of lockdown and some of the unhealthy eating patterns of lockdown, I ended up struggling with quite bad rosacea. Rosacea can sometimes look a bit like adult acne. It usually appears sort of in the 40s and 50s, and it's really bright red, sore cheeks that can have pimples, can be sort of like a burning sort of reddish butterfly pattern. It's got quite a few different forms. In men, it can quite often be more sort of on the nose and can cause sort of thickening of the skin. And so that set me on my skincare journey, looking at different products and looking at what I should use. I started off looking at YouTube. I watched people like Hiram, Cassandra, James Walsh, all the big ones, Dr. Sam Bunting, Dr. Dre, Dr. Lee, all excellent channels. And then I also came across Rob with his channel, Mad About Skin. And his channel was amazing all the way through lockdown. He did a video a day on all different products, lots of skincare advice, and he also did the live streams once a week. And it was with his sort of influence that I actually thought, right, I've got some knowledge from a different point of view from pharmacy. I'll look to doing a YouTube channel. So that's one reason why I got into that. But I did a lot of learning about my own skin and rosacea. And one of the first ingredients that I looked into was azelaic acid. As a pharmacist, I knew the treatment for rosacea, azelaic acid. And chances of getting that on a GP prescription is very slim. GPs don't really have much expertise in rosacea. Chances of getting a referral through to a dermatologist can be very, very slim, especially when it's just mild rosacea and not causing any sort of significant problems. So I was set on a journey looking for rosacea myself. Don't think I've got out of all the products that I've kept, I don't think I actually kept the original one. But the original azelaic acid product that I went for, actually, the first one I went for was the Ordinary's azelaic acid, which, right, I'm going to have to try and work out how to do this properly. And it's brilliant. It's 10% azelaic acid. It works brilliantly, as in the azelaic acid really does calm down the rosacea in the skin. The problem is it's a silicone-based product, and literally you can't layer it with anything. So you might be able to put a light serum on underneath it, but once you've put on this, because of its silicone base, you can't actually put any other moisturizer on top of it. So it doesn't particularly work very well sort of in a layering routine if you've got quite a few other things. So actually, if I'm suggesting that somebody would use this and using the azelaic acid as a treatment for the rosacea, I would actually say apply it at a totally different time of the day to what your actual skincare routine is. So in the morning, apply what you do in the morning with your SPF, leave it, and then maybe apply this in the middle of the afternoon. And maybe if you do your evening routine earlier on in the evening, and then you can apply that just before you go to bed. But yeah, as an actual product, although the azelaic acid was brilliant, it helped start calming down my rosacea. It's not an easy product to lay in. So I went with Dermatica, which is a dermatology-based private online service here in the UK. I think it is available in other countries too. So you can go on there and you can have a consultation with a dermatologist privately, but they do have some products that they sell without the requirement of actually going through the dermatologist. And one of those is actually an azelaic acid in a 20% formulation. and it's in a nice cream-based formulation. So I ordered that, and it came very quickly. It applied absolutely beautifully. I could actually use it as my moisturizer in a routine. Unfortunately, the 20% strength was just a little bit too harsh for me, and it just caused too much sort of tingling, sensitivity. So I ended up basically making it into a 10% product by putting on the same amount of another moisturizer, cream-based of a similar consistency, and that, and putting them both on the skin at the same time, so that it was sort of down to having the percentage down to a 10%, so that I could actually tolerate it. So then I was dropping back down to using the ordinary. But then, with my love of watching the Mad About Skin channel, I decided I would try the Mad About Skin products. So Rob from the Mad About Skin channel actually came up with his own products, and I'm not paid by him or anything, because I'm not monetized or anything, but I do love his products, and I love the support that he has given to so many people from starting in COVID since, and the way that he's actually put some research into products. So so he's got it's called the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum, and it has a 5% azelaic acid in it. So I did move on to using that. I use it morning and evening. And I have found it's been the perfect, now that my rosacea was under control, having that in my routine morning and evening has been perfect to keep my rosacea under control. It's also, I find it a very nice serum. It's thicker than most serums. It's a little bit sort of more tacky. It's like it's got the feel of a little bit of honey in it. It's very soothing and nice. It's also got peptides in it, which peptides are really good as acting as humectants and helping plump up the skin. It's also got a vitamin C derivative, and vitamin Cs are very good for brightening the skin as well as using as an antioxidant. So I've just found it's a brilliant product all around. And unfortunately, unfortunately, it's out of stock at the moment, and I've run out. So my skin can't do without it either, Tom, and I'm without it at the moment. I'm going to shout out Mad About Skin all the time. It's out of stock at the moment, so as soon as it comes in, I'm hoping Tom will let me know as soon as it's in, so that I can get my order straight in. Lynn, I do think Dermatica, I think there's a T in there somewhere, is available in Norway too. Boots is okay, and I do have a lot of Boots products, but I also like Boots because they also do a lot of The Ordinary and Revolution skincare. So through my time, when I've been trying different ingredients, I've gone through using the Boots ingredients, products. The Revolution skincare. So the Revolution skincare, I do like them. I find them a really good brand. And this one, it said with azelaic acid. I sent them a message on WhatsApp saying, what's your percentage of azelaic acid in your product? And they messaged me back going, we don't have to tell you. We're a cosmetic company. We don't have to tell you. I'm like, okay, fair enough. It's not as though it's that big a massive trade secret. And I messaged back and saying, well, I don't want to know exact. I'm not wanting to try and pinch your formulation, but could you give me a ballpark? Is it between 0 and 5, 5 and 10, above 10? But even back, they said, no, we can't even give you a ballpark figure. So although I have to say, it does, when you put it on, it does have quite a grittiness to it. And the one thing with azelaic acid is azelaic acid doesn't dissolve very well in either water-based products or oil-based products, hence why the azelaic acid from The Ordinary is in a silicone-based product. So the Revolution one is quite gritty. So I would say it's actually got a fairly good amount of azelaic acid. And in terms of clearing up my rosacea, it really did help. I just really didn't like the grittiness of it, so I wouldn't be using it again. Excellent. I will be very happy, Tom. And I will probably rave about some of the other products with products like that as well. So that's my story with rosacea. With rosacea, a lot of the time it's making sure that you avoid the triggers to what sets off your rosacea, which basically is anything fun. So sunlight, UV light sets it off. So you need to wear a good SPF. As pretty much every skin condition or skin problem, UV light is damaging to it. So a good SPF is a good all-rounder for everything. Then caffeine can inflame the rosacea, as can alcohol, as can spicy food, as can lack of sleep, stress. So as you can see, hence why it did flare up for me during COVID, plus the fact that I think I hit the same age as when my mum started with the rosacea as well. So I think there is a hereditary component to it as well. So does anybody have a particular ingredient that they want me to go through? If talking about sort of adult acne and, well, acne in many ages, there's two ways to be looking at it. There's one that's actually clearing the actual acne that's on the surface, the actual sort of the blackheads and the I can't remember, the comedones that are actually on the surface, and helping smooth them out. And for them, you can do a lot of using your different acids, your beta hydroxy acids and your alpha hydroxy acids. So one of the main ones is salicylic acid. So I'm going to pull from this side of the table is actually my teenage daughters. So obviously I've been getting products for my teenage daughter for her acne. And then the other side is my anti-aging rosacea, which is for me. So one of the best things for acne is salicylic acid. It's a beta hydroxy acid, which is oil based. So it really does get deep into the oil pores and cleans them out. So the one that I've got as a wash is the purified 2% salicylic acid. It's also got glycerin and hyaluronic acid in it, which are two really good humectants to help make sure that it doesn't dry the skin out too much using the salicylic acid, because sometimes salicylic acid can be quite drying and irritating on the skin. So I always recommend salicylic acid. Prior to finding that product, she did use the salicylic acid booster. This is the ME Plus range, which is Superdrug. Superdrug's ME Plus range is brilliant because they do a load of products that are just ingredient based. So if you're actually wanting to see whether a particular ingredient suits your skin or irritates your skin, you can try that. And then you can see whether it works or not before you then look for a multiple product that has multiple ingredients in it. The one active ingredient is the one that I've just been raving about. It's azelaic acid. It is the one that solved my rosacea. It's the one that got me into skincare. But then after azelaic acid, I would say SPF, because I think SPF is a gold standard. Everybody should have it in at least SPF of 30. You know, it stops the UV damage and has the most benefit on the skin long term. And it's helped my melasma. Probably can't see it, but I do have sort of in my forehead, you can probably see just about that I've got the different melasma on my forehead. haven't got any makeup on. I never wear makeup, even on live streams and videos. I only occasionally wear it for going out. So another thing the other things that are good for sort of helping dry the skin. The Isntree green tea toner, that was great. It really is very good at sort of drying up any oil on the skin. I couldn't use it, had to donate it to my daughter. I'm just trying to think. I did have, yeah. Right. So, but yeah, well then the other acids to have that you could have is the sort of the glycolic acid, mandelic acid, and one product again. Tom will like this. I'm going to do the Mad About Skin, and it's the Perfect Blend exfoliating gel. So it has a nice balance of different alpha hydroxy acids. And so my daughter uses that, and it's great because it's a gel. She can use it when she's got particular spots that are coming up to the surface, and yeah, coming up to the surface. So she likes that, but I don't tend to. I've tried using things like the glycolic acid, the lactic acid, and my skin is just too sensitive. My skin just doesn't like them products, and I ended up having to repurpose my glycolic acid products as underarm washes, which is a quick hack. If any of you struggle with, yeah, that's the magic ingredient I was thinking of, kojic acid in it. But I probably need to find a kojic acid product that doesn't have the rest of the goodness in there. So I ended up repurposing my glycolic acid as underarms because it helps clean off the pores under the arms and the bacteria that are under your arms that cause the lovely odor from under the arms. So I repurposed it there. I didn't get on with any of the sort of exfoliating acids. And so I've never gone for anything like all the viral, the ordinary pink exfoliating acids or anything like that, because my skin is just far too sensitive for anything like that. Hi, Marie. Good to have you here. Hi, yeah, Lindsay. The one thing I would say about rosacea is, yes, the azelaic acid and things can do, finding your triggers and reducing those, but actually just finding something that's a good barrier for your skin, a very gentle cleanser for your skin, and then making sure you have an SPF and using daily SPF. So when it comes to gentle cleansers, I have to say I'm a bit boring. So I either use the CeraVe or the Mad About Skin Gentle Jelly Cleanser, but just something really gentle on my skin. I can't cope with anything harsh. And then obviously my daughter has the purified because of her acne. I don't think I've got anything else here. But then I'm going to go through some of the different SPFs that I've tried. So I went through a phase of doing my Korean one. So the Isntree one was very, very nice. I even did the Beauty of Joseon one. I have to say these are the Korean ones are much nicer than most of the English ones. They apply much more light and just light. And in the morning, I don't need much thickness on my skin because my skin is so sort of sensitive. So even though I have dry skin, I need something that sort of soaks in nicely and goes in. I have tried various other things. I have to say the Soleil by Superdrug, far too thick and gloopy. It's nearly as bad as like the Garnier Ombre Solaire, although I have got some of that because it was on offer, so I've got some just for the days that I do need it. So I'm going to end up then fangirling about the best SPF that I found, which, no surprise, surprise, is the Mad About Skin one. So it basically, Rob used all the best things from the Korean sunscreens, but ensured that it got the SPF 50. So the SPF 50, which means so the SPF 50 is the protection factor for how long that you can stay in the sun. And technically, they say that means that you can stay in the sun 50 times longer than you should be able to. But that doesn't also take into the fact that your body sweats, it rubs off and such like. So you would never actually go, okay, I manage 4 hours. I can suddenly manage 50 times 4 hours. That doesn't make sense. You don't really go past the sort of 8 hours. And then it also has the full UVA and full UVB protection. So we have both UVA and UVB from the sun. And I always remember it as the UVA is the one that causes aging and the UVB is the one that causes burning. So UVB protection is what's always been historically in SPF. So the SPF usually looks at the burning factor and making sure that you're not burning your skin, and that's probably what you want to do, making sure that you're covering all your kids, that they're not going to burn. But the UVA is the aging one, and that's sort of where sort of continual exposure to UVA, which does come through windows, and continually having that on a day-to-day basis is where you get the aging of your skin and the loss of elasticity and the darkening, the hyperpigmentation, and then the fine lines and wrinkles going on. So you need to have both UVA and UVB protection. Both UVA and UVB put you at higher risk of skin cancer as well. So also, as well as it keeping you looking young, reducing hyperpigmentation, keeping you glowing, reducing rosacea and such like, it will also stop skin cancer, which is obviously one of the best things. Okay, I'm just saying, Normaderm Photo Solution. Okay, yeah, so it has salicylic acid in it. So yeah, so that would be good. That means it'll be getting deep into your oils and pulling out all the oils out of your pores. So charcoal, charcoal sort of will attract oil to it, and it will try and help wash the oil away. So in itself, charcoal doesn't cause any, it's not an ingredient that actually isn't active on the skin. It doesn't do anything active in the skin. It doesn't get absorbed or do anything active on the skin. It's really there to just pull away any of the dirt and the oils and help it wash down the sink. So yeah, so you do find charcoal is very good. They quite often use charcoal masks. I think I don't know. Yeah, no, I've got a mud mask, but yeah, it usually is to pull off the toxins. Although I shouldn't really use toxins, I just mean dirt, stuff that shouldn't be there on your skin. Pull off the stuff that shouldn't be on your skin and help wash it away in the oils. I'm just trying to work out which ingredient to talk next about. So one of my favorites to always talk about is retinol, and I did go through a bit of a journey. Oh, good to have you here, Tom. I am about to talk about the brilliant new one that I found, but I've got to do a whole spiel on retinol first. Yeah, I love Maz, you know I do. So yeah, you better get back to work. You can always catch me on replay. Yeah, I'm very sensitive. Baby products, sometimes they can be better. You still have to still be careful. It's quite often trying to work out what sort of actual product, what ingredients trigger you. And sometimes you just find it's the overuse of ingredients. That's what I was trying to look at to see whether I'd kept a bottle of it, was niacinamide. So you've got things like niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, and you find them in near enough every product. Every product is putting them in, and every product is putting them in silly quantities. So like niacinamide actually works best between 1% and 2%, but you get them in silly quantities of 10%. And that's just so irritating. So when you try like the niacinamide 10%, I tried it, and although yes, it is supposed to help with the hyperpigmentation and the redness, to reduce the redness, which is why I tried it, it also is very drying on the skin. And so I tried the niacinamide 10%, and it just totally dried my skin out. And I'm talking to a couple of friends as well recently, and they both said, oh, I bought the niacinamide. I thought from The Ordinary, I thought it would be great, because niacinamide's a good ingredient. And again, they both found it really drying. So I ended up just having to use it sort of every 2 or 3 days, just a small amount of it. And you find niacinamide in lots of products. The same with hyaluronic acid. You get, I would say never ever buy just a hyaluronic acid product. You don't need to. Hyaluronic acid is probably in pretty much most moisturizers and serums anyway. The only reason I've got this is because I got the Boots advent calendar last year, and this was in the advent calendar last year. I wasn't going to waste it, but it's like there was that. I got that in it, and I also at the same time got the hyaluronic acid serum, and there was no point to using both of these in a regime because you're just doubling up on the same ingredient and not getting any benefit. But I did find that this was good. The hyaluronic acid serum was quite good for diluting down things like the niacinamide serum that was too harsh, and a bit of both would be fine. Not supposed to mix and play chemist, but as a pharmacist, I sort of have a gist of whether it's safe to do so. But I would say whenever you do any mixing, just do it straight on your hands and then straight onto your face. Never ever store any mixtures. Never make any mixtures and store any mixtures, because you never know whether the preservatives are going to then work or it's going to separate and cause issues. But hyaluronic acid, technically, you don't need anything more than 0.1% for hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a molecule that can pull water to itself, and it can pull water to itself at 1,000 times its own weight. So at 0.1%, it's pretty much holding all the water that's in that solution. So you don't actually need a higher percentage of that. And actually, medically speaking, if you're going to have hyaluronic acid eye drops to help keep the tears in your eyes for sort of dry eyes, they're only ever at 0.1 or 0.2%. So when you get in products with hyaluronic acid that are much higher percentage, it can actually have the opposite effect of what you're wanting. What you're really wanting is some hyaluronic acid to actually be going into your skin cells and pulling water into the skin cells. But if you're putting on something that's a too high a percentage and then not actually sealing it in, what could happen is actually it can be pulling the water out of your skin and then evaporating off your skin, and actually can be drying. So I would say that's the other thing when applying many serums. If you're applying all your water-based serums, afterwards you are always good to make sure that you seal it in with a good barrier moisturizer to hold that moisture in. And that's actually a tip for anything. So for when we're talking to people with eczema, psoriasis, so even not just dry skin, but actual severe eczema, psoriasis, where the skin is extremely dry, having a bath or a shower if you just have a bath or a shower and you get wet and then go out into a dry room and dry yourself, you can end up actually drying, making your skin drier and more irritated because it just all evaporates off. You've actually pulled the water out of your skin cells and it's actually more drying. So if you do have dry skin, you've got eczema or you've got psoriasis, once you've had a bath, while you're still, so just tap yourself dry, don't rub yourself dry, just tap yourself dry while that moisture's still on you. If you do have any serums or whatever that you need to apply them then, and then put on a really good lotion or cream or barrier product that's either recommended by your doctor or that suits your skin, and apply it on at that time, and that will keep the moisture in your skin and stop the drying effect. So it can be, you know, just as important to apply that lotion. One of the big things that I've been pushing for over the last few years with products is the bath and shower products. A lot of bath and shower products are very drying on your skin. Even the ones that are promoted as bath and shower products for eczema and such like, they are actually drying on the skin because of the surfactant in them. And they can quite often be a waste of money. So sometimes it can actually be better for your skin to actually not have something that's got the harsh surfactants in them. And quite often a lot of sort of the eczema moisturizers, things like Epimax, Cetraban, trying to think of the ones, your general tubs of cream that you get for treating eczema and such like, they can actually be used as a bit of a soap substitute. So while you're getting washed, you can actually put a bit of that cream on your hands, mix it, rub it on, and use that to actually clean, wash it off, and then seal, tap dry, and then seal in with that. And that's actually works much better than actually having a product that's got a surfactant in that can actually be more drying to the skin. So, yeah. So that's it. If you're going through your products, if you spot an ingredient that I haven't mentioned yet, just shout it out, Lynn, and I'll go through it. Hi DC, great to see you here. I do actually want to send you a message in a bit because I've just watched another live stream that's made me sad. So with all of that, it can be good to have products that are antioxidant. They go on about this antioxidant. So your skin is the barrier to the outside world. Your skin is protecting you from everything in the outside world, and it does a brilliant job. It keeps everything that's inside in and everything that's outside out. And although you can have some transdermal movement, obviously you sweat out to cool down, and there's some salt comes out when you sweat out. You do actually excrete a few things by that method, garlic being one of them, which is why it doesn't matter what you do to your breath. Once you've eaten garlic, it actually oozes out your pores, and you can actually still absorb things through your skin. So there is medication that you can have as patches on your skin that can actually absorb through your skin. They have to be of a small enough molecule size to actually penetrate through your skin. So most people know that you've got your estrogen patches that people can have for HRT. There is also pain relief patches, so you can have the strong opioids that go through your skin and into your bloodstream. So they're usually the strong opioid ones that go through the skin and into your bloodstream. You can also then have pain relieving gels like ibuprofen, diclofenac gels that you rub on your skin, and there is some penetration. It's a bit debatable whether it gets into your joints. It's more that it probably gets into your muscles rather than into your joints. But quite often with most of those, it's actually the rubbing action and the soothing action on your muscles and the warming action, rather than actually getting that ibuprofen or diclofenac actually into the joints. So the skin, there is some movement in and out. and we do need to sort of protect our skin from all the damage that's happening daily. And then, yes, there is some of these actives that you find in skincare do penetrate into the deeper layers of your skin and can actually do some repairing of damage that's happening in your skin and improve it. So one of the main ones that's always stated as being an antioxidant, it's an antioxidant, and it's in all your fruits and veg, so you probably know this one, antioxidant, and helps in your body. It's your vitamin C, and this is one of the first products that I got. It was £4 at Boots for 50 mils. Very nice product. And then I've been through quite a few different vitamin C's. So the Revolution vitamin C, that's a very nice smoothing one. It's in a cream based and doesn't seem to oxidize. So the problem with actual vitamin C, as in ascorbic acid, in water-based products, is that they oxidize. So they go from being sort of just a very clear yellow to having, probably should be able to find it there. Find the top with the yellow top. Oh, it hasn't actually gone that yellow. But sort of the ascorbic acid, it can oxidize. I've got a feeling this one has oxidized. Oh no, it's not too bad. But it can turn sort of, once it's turned sort of a dark yellow or orange, it's oxidized and it's no longer as ascorbic acid. But a lot of products nowadays, they're getting better at sort of stabilizing them or using what they call vitamin C derivatives, which are more stabilized, and they're also less harsh on the skin as well. So I've gone through various vitamin C's. This one from The Ordinary, which is the vitamin ascorbic acid with alpha-arbutin. Rob did just say on the Mad About Skin channel that The Ordinary have discontinued it, but they still do have the two separate ingredients available. I'd say vitamin C, it's a nice product. It is brightening, it is antioxidant, but I don't think you always need a standalone product unless you're just trying to find out whether ascorbic acid or a derivative suits you. I've now found, back to my original at the beginning, having the derivative in a multi-serum has actually been best for me. And then there's loads of other what they call antioxidant products that help protect your skin. And I went through a phase of trying them all. So you have the resveratrol and ferulic acid. You have the pycnogenol, which is actually from pine trees. There's a whole host of them, and you will find near enough every skincare company will tout that they have got the best antioxidant products out there. And really, you don't need to be using them all. You don't need to be hunting out the best one. I would just say making sure that you've got a nice cream or serum that you find you can use consistently on a daily basis is probably the best thing to do. And find something, make sure that whatever it is, that it actually suits your skin. And I have to say, I've gone from my phase of, over the last 3 years, trying everything as individual ingredients to trying to find multiple product serums. And I think that is, so I've ended up with going for this one that's a antioxidant cream. And I think there's also the Ordinary do a nice, I think it's called the Neod. Mary Kay, oh dear Lynn. Yeah, so obviously every MLM company out there I have to confess, I found some Avon products the other day. I still had some Avon products from 20 odd years ago hidden at the back of a cupboard. When I was trying to look for things to put on the thumbnail for this live stream, I even had a Mary Kay symbol come up, and I thought, I'm not putting that on my live stream. So, because I'm not talking about any MLM companies here. Also, the other one, the one that everybody doesn't think is an MLM, but is the Body Shop. I used to love all the Body Shop body butters when I was younger. We used to love having the Body Shop parties and passing around all the different body butters and smelling them. But back then I didn't realise that they were an MLM, and, you know, the amount of money that the people that host these parties lose. So, yeah. Oh, I have to say, one of my totally unnecessary but totally bougie product that I do like using. Very, very cheap, but they look very, very bougie. So it's the Revolution Hydrogel. And these look very, very bougie. And as you can see, they're my lovely gold eye patches for when I'm wanting to just have a totally nice evening. So, yeah, you don't need to have eye patches. You don't need to have face masks. But if you want to do self-care, have a chill, have a relax, look after yourself, then absolutely perfect. You know, do self-care, and it will hydrate your skin. It will make you feel nice. It's not going to be magic, but it will just hydrate your skin. And the more you can sort of hydrate your skin with internally and externally, the plumper it'll look, the less the fine lines and wrinkles they'll look, and you will look better. Carrot skin cream. Yeah, I don't know what it is with the carrot skin cream, but I don't know whether you all saw the other TikTokers. So there was a TikToker that was going around saying, give yourself an internal tan from eating carrot smoothies, which I've got a whole nother video on that, on can you turn yourself orange with carrots and vitamin A toxicity. And yes, eating too much carrots can turn you to having an orange glow. But to me, having an orange glow and looking like Trump is not a nice tan. If you want to have a nice tan, just find some nice actual fake tan products or some really good makeup. Obviously, I am 100% against tanning beds. There is no point putting your body under UVA or UVB light and increasing your risk of cancer when you can have it done as a fake tan. Yeah, but yeah, you got right. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, you just don't know what's in them. And a lot of cosmetic companies, they're not always very open and transparent about what's in their products. So although you think that they've listed all their products, there are things like the term fragrance, perfume, and such like, where they don't actually have to say what's in those. All they have to say is that what's in them isn't one of the known allergens, which actually there isn't that many listed in the known allergens, and actually anybody can be allergic to pretty much anything. In fact, the more natural something is, the more likely you are to be allergic to it. Usually an allergy is your body trying to attack something, which is usually a protein, and actually most proteins are found in nature, which is why it's most plant-based products essential oils and such like that people are more allergic to. Doesn't it? Yeah, super sensitive, eczema prone skin. You need to go for something that's as simple and as boring as possible, unfortunately. Something really as simple as like this, the moisturizing cream, fragrance free, nothing in it, suitable for sensitive skin. Don't think it actually says what's on it in here, but you know, something that is just sort of, you know, white soft paraffin, liquid paraffin, sometimes even people go for things that they think is more natural, so they go for something like oatmeal. Well, because oatmeal's actually from a plant, it actually contains proteins in the oatmeal, and therefore you can become sensitized to it and allergic to it. So there was a big trend a few years ago, and it even started by consultants, because oatmeal can be very, very soothing for a lot of people. So an oatmeal's in Aveeno. It can be very soothing for people, but if you don't significantly have enough oatmeal in your diet and you're always just putting it on your skin and it's trying to break through your skin barrier, and if you've got an uneven skin barrier and then it's hitting your immune system from the outside and not from the inside, it can actually trigger allergies if you're allergy prone. And so a lot of babies and toddlers that weren't really onto solid foods yet, having a lot of Aveeno on the having the Aveeno and other oatmeal based products on the outside of their broken, damaged skin actually turned out to causing a lot of allergies to oatmeal, and that's on the rise. So yeah, it can be. The other thing is we ended up and Johnson & Johnson will probably, hopefully they won't be watching this, but we ended up saying no to Aveeno on prescription because there is other oatmeal based products out there. There's an Epimax oatmeal, Ziravine, and other ones that are actually the companies that actually specifically make for them to be on prescription. And when we phoned them companies up, they've actually given us detailed descriptions of every ingredient in there and at what percentage, even if it's like 0.01%. When we phoned up Aveeno and said, can you provide us with all the ingredients that's in your product and the quantities of it? They said to us, we're a cosmetic company, we don't need to. So we went, well, we won't put you on prescription then. You're not going to give us the same quality advice that we've had from the other companies. So just because something's got a big brand, just because they write dermatology tested on it or hypoallergenic tested, doesn't actually mean anything. If they write dermatology tested, all it means is they asked some dermatologist to test it. Doesn't give you any indication of what the results were, how good it was. And yeah, getting that actual studies out there, especially from cosmetic companies, a lot of their facts and figures are very much misleading. I don't know who did the live stream recently, but they pointed out when they sort of said that they tested 35 people and 99% said that they found improvement. Well, that's a statistical improbability. I've got a feeling it was either Julie Jo or Erin that said that, and they just pointed out that the math ain't mathing, or maths isn't mathing, as the English like to say. I'm just going to catch up on my comments. Trump eyes, yeah. Right, just think. Yeah, definitely traumatizing. Yeah, so La Roche-Posay, it is a very good line of products for sensitive skin, although recently they have changed some of their formulations. So whereas some people used to get on with some of their products. They've been changing formulations and they're not being as good. There is also the concern because La Roche-Posay do sell into China, so they're not fully classed as cruelty-free, if that is something that is of concern to you. Some people very much don't want anything that's goes into China because of their animal testing. Yeah, Aveeno is not the most brilliant thing for everybody. And actually, sometimes cheaper can be better, because cheaper means less ingredients, less additives, less trying to add fragrance and perfume and such like. And some of the better alternatives are things like Lidl owns brands, Aldi's own brands of just some of their simple moisturizers can be much better. Just have a look on the back. You want to avoid, if you have got sensitive skin and you don't know what the irritant is, you want to avoid phrases like perfume and fragrance where they're not actually specifically saying. And then it's just a matter of anything that's ever irritated you, having a look and seeing if there's anything on there. Especially something if it sounds like essential oil based, that can be irritating for people. Yeah. So. Yeah. So yeah, so some just basic cold creams. Just your basic ones that are just sort of like soft paraffin and such like can be as good. Heavy cream, yeah. Cheap and simple, yeah. Cheap and cheerful quite often does work. And I know a lot of people say that they don't like paraffin-based products because they think that because it's paraffin-based, it's not natural. But actually, there is a lot less allergies out there to paraffin-based products than there is natural-based products, because of the fact that there's nothing in there, although it's carbon-based. So it is carbon-based because paraffin is actually from fossil oil, is actually from fossilized animals and plants, and it is carbon-based. It's actually been purified to its most simple form, and there's no proteins in there anymore or such like. So there's no sort of like your protein factors that are going to irritate your and have your immune system activated and looking on. Although my mum does happen to be one that's allergic to actual paraffin. She can't use Vaseline or anything like that. She is allergic to it. And even in Aveeno, where people are like, oh, I have to use Aveeno because I'm allergic to paraffin, it actually does have paraffin down there. If you go right down the ingredients, liquid paraffin is down there at the bottom. So it can be a problem. For hands and others. Excellent. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can ask my ask some of my older relatives that used to work as dairy farmers and see if I can find out whether they know of such things. Well, I have tried quite a few different things. Another good brand, Altruist. It does say dermatologist on it, and it is a product that it is a brand that is recommended by dermatologists, and they just do very simple products. Aqua, dimethicone, glycerin. So glycerin is a good ingredient to look out for. Glycerin is humectant. Glycerin, it's sort of like the glucose molecule, but it's been modified into to glycerin and glycerol, and it holds water to it, and acts as an excellent humectant. So glycerin being in moisturizers is very, very good. Which I don't think quite. Obviously, I've got other Mad About Skin, Maximum Infinite Moisturizer. Yeah, so I've got quite a few different. Gone through quite a few. I think the Boots Cucumber Moisturizer, the Boots Collagen Moisturizer. I think that one's a bit bougie, a big £10. But really, if you're wanting a simple moisturizer, you do not need to be spending more than sort of £10. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream is pretty magic, but Revolution Skincare do a near enough identical dupe to it, and it's double the volume and half the price. So it's actually quadruple cost effectiveness. So yeah, so if you are tempted by Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream, or even if you are using it and like it, Revolution Skincare do a near enough perfect dupe. So that's useful to know. And there is a lot of things. You can quite often find some really good dupes. So James, well, she's good for giving out some good dupes. I do like watching it. Right. Oh, retinol. I've been waiting for doing retinol. So yes. So retinol, isotretinoin, tretinoin, they're all vitamin A derivatives. I have got a video all about vitamin A, and that's all about taking vitamin A orally, but I do slightly and very quickly cover skincare in that. So vitamin A, you take it into your body as retinol, and it goes through various different transformations to be used for many different things, including your skin. So you do need vitamin A is essential for good skin. It's also essential for helping your eyes in low light. It's also essential for your nerves and your immune system. Obviously, you can have your precursors to vitamin A, beta carotene and such like in your carrots that transfers to vitamin A. And if you don't need to transfer your carotene into vitamin A, your body stores it under the skin, turning it orange until it needs it. But yeah, so they knew that vitamin A is good for the skin. So they did do a lot in looking at vitamin A and vitamin A derivatives on the skin. And they've done the most extensive testing on anything skin related. Acne, rosacea, aging has all been on the vitamin A derivatives, starting at retinol, and then moving on to retinal, which is the next product along. It's 10 times stronger. It's the next stage in the development. So when you'd have a 1% retinol, it would be a 0.1% retinal, and then you have such things as your tretinoin, so your tretinoin creams, which are usually prescription only. Pretty much everywhere in the world, tretinoin is prescription only, and quite often dermatology only. And then you also have the oral version, which is known as the isotretinoin, which is only prescribable by a dermatologist. It has to stay by the dermatologist. It can't pass to a GP. It has to be the dermatologist. You have to go up. You have to make sure that you're having your pregnancy tests before you take it, because it is extremely teratogenic on a baby. So you've got to have that, and they even make sure that men are not likely to impregnate a woman while they're on it as well. And it can have some nasty side effects at the severe end of the isotretinoin and tretinoin. So always to be done under a dermatologist. However, retinol, the first stage, is available to buy. There has been some changes in the EU guidance, and I think in the EU, retinol is going to end up being restricted to 0.3% in the EU for face creams, but in the UK, it still can be at higher percentages. I have no idea about the US. So So yeah, so the retinol. So I did go on a journey because obviously retinol is good for treating acne. So if you've just got simple acne and you're not on the severe end and you're not going to see a dermatologist, then you can look at using retinol yourself to help with your own acne. The problem that you have with retinol is you always go through what's called the retinol uglies and the retinol purging. So retinol increases the cell turnover of your skin, increases the collagen production of your skin, and will in time produce healthier skin and increase the production of the healthier skin. Less dead skin cells on the top, more fresh skin cells coming through. Unfortunately, if you think that you've got all your acne, some of it's under the surface, some of it's on the surface, if you're going to speed up that process, say you were going to have 3 or 4 spots appear a week for the next few weeks. But if you speed that up, you may be having 6 or 7 a week for the first few weeks, just as your skin is getting out everything and quicker. So quite often when people start on retinol or isotretinoin and such like, they actually get what the retinol ugly is. They actually purges out all the acne that's under the skin, fetches it out. Also can cause quite dry skin, especially around the corners of the mouth, around the nose. So when you do start on retinol, you do need to make sure that you have a really good thick moisturizer. And sometimes you can also start off by doing the sandwich method, which is where you put a moisturizer on, let it sink in, put the retinol on as directed, let it sink in, and then put another moisturizer layer on top to really make sure that you're not going to dry out your skin. So I started off with the retinols. So I did start off with the ordinary 0.5% retinol. And I had a little bit of dryness felt it was doing okay. It was oil-based, so you have to use it at the end of the routine. And I didn't particularly like that too much. I thought I'd prefer it as a serum so that I could layer it better with my moisturizers. So I then decided I would go to the Inklist retinol. I'm not doing very well with where my webcam is. Started this, and the dryness on my skin and everything cleared up, and I thought, oh, great. Not getting any retinol uglies with this, even though I've got an increase in percent. Doubled it from 0.5 to 1. And then I found out that it was a bit of a scam. So it wasn't retinol 1%. It was retinol star complex 1%. Actually only had 0.1% of actual retinol in it. It was the complex that was at 1%. So I actually had gone totally backwards in a step. And I wasn't happy. There was a bit of outcry against the Inklist about that. And they now have a super retinol, which is actually at 1%. Because they got called out for that. So I then did move on to the Revolution retinol, and I got on quite well with that at the 1%. I went through my uglies, got through that. The other thing that you can do as you're doing the retinol is you build up by maybe doing it once a week, and then build up to twice a week, every other day, and then daily. Always best to do your retinol at night. It's got nothing to do with it causing any issues with you being in the sunlight. It's because retinol itself is degraded by UV rays. So if you put it on in the morning, the UV rays are going to degrade the retinol and it's not going to be as effective. So that's why it's best to do it at night. Plus, because it is drying on the skin, it is best to do it at night, because then you can make sure that you fully sort of moisturize well. But I would always say if you're using retinol, it does make your skin a bit more sensitive. You definitely need to be using UVA, your SPF in the morning. As with any skin condition that you are trying to improve, melasma, acne, rosacea, anti-aging, you've got to cover it with the SPF. Otherwise, the UV damage is going to undo any active that you're trying to work. So I then used that. So then I decided I was going to upgrade from the retinol to the retinal, which is 10 times stronger. So you go from the 1% retinol to the 0.1% retinal. So I went on, as per everybody's suggestion, to the Geek and Gorgeous. I think this is the first time I've mentioned the Geek and Gorgeous. The Geek and Gorgeous again, their retinal, absolutely lovely. Goes on really nicely as a cream, really moisturizing, much better than using a retinol oil because it really is a nice cream. So that was the thing. So I did enjoy that for quite a while, but when Mad About Skin came out with the Ultimate Anti-Aging Oil, which is a retinol oil, I did try that, and that's nice, and it's very bougie. It's in a nice glass container. It's very bougie, and that has been very, very nice. So I might end up alternating between this and the Geek and Gorgeous again, depending on whether I fancy an oil or I fancy the cream. But yes, I would say that, yeah, if you've got acne, going through your retinol and retinols can be helpful. If you've got rosacea, yes, and if you want it as the anti-aging, yes, as well. So right, I'm gonna, I think MAS in Swedish is short for term for medical responsible nurse. Okay. I will accept any medical responsible nurses on my live stream. I would appreciate your company here. I do think it's always amusing with the term responsible pharmacist. So in a community pharmacy, depending on the size of it, you can end up with having multiple pharmacists, and also within a hospital pharmacy, you can end up with multiple pharmacists on shift. But you've always got to have one pharmacist that is the designated responsible pharmacist. So if anything is to go pear-shaped, they are the responsible pharmacist. So, and usually they're the one that when you go to a shop, you will always see there's a sign up saying the responsible pharmacist on duty is, in the name of it. I just always like going, I don't want to be the responsible pharmacist. I want to be the irresponsible pharmacist. But nobody ever sees the joke. So, Helisan, I think I've heard that name actually. Spinol. Okay. All right. So aqua is water, liquid paraffin, so liquid paraffin, propylene glycol. That's is a bit like glycerin. It's just a nice sort of humectant molecule that pulls in water, stearic acid. Yeah. Right. So the retinol palmitate, I think that is a derivative of retinol that can be useful. Methylparaben. So yeah, that seems like quite a nice thing. It's always very difficult because they use all sorts of the Latin names for everything, and so it can sound very, very scary. The amount of Instagrams and TikToks where people go, if you can't pronounce it, it's dangerous. Well, actually, you can list out all the chemical substances, the hundreds of chemical substances that are in a blueberry, and it can sound really, really scary. So just having the Latin name of things written down doesn't necessarily mean they're scary. And being able to pronounce them doesn't mean whether they're good or bad either. Yeah. Excellent. So having a 30 SPF is always good if you are having a retinol. Eye serum, night cream, night serum. Now, when it comes to retinol, that can sometimes be a good reason to have a separate eye serum. So the skin around your eyes, sort of underneath, and actually very much so the lid, is very sensitive. So any retinol that you put on the rest of your face, you should avoid your eye area, because your eyes are so super sensitive. It's going to really dry the skin there and super irritate it. So sometimes as you're getting used to the retinol, it is worth actually putting on a normal eye cream around that area to protect your eye from any sort of retinol side effects around your eye. Or if you've got a product where they do a retinol eye cream, it'll usually be at a lower percentage and a more moisturizing product. So that means that you can actually put it around the eye area without that same irritation. So yeah, so sometimes the eye cream can be very useful. Eye creams, if you're very prone to puffy dark eyes because of the puffiness, because of lack of sleep, one good ingredient to look out for in a eye cream is caffeine. If you can't afford an eye cream, you can always get a tea bag. The caffeine, just leave it there, cold tea bag. The caffeine, it helps restrict the blood vessels and the blood flow, and allows it to drain away. I have to say the best, trying to find it, it's only little, the best eye cream that I've found is $1.99, and it's the Q10 from CN. So I think CN is the, I want to say that that's the Aldi brand. I can't remember whether it's Aldi or Lidl, but it's the CN brand, and it's got Q10 in it. It's also got caffeine in it, vitamin E, hyaluronic acid, $1.99, brilliant eye cream. If you are using other actives on the face, you can put a little bit around your eye so that whatever actives that you're putting on your face, you can keep out of your eyes. So I do like that. I've tried some other eye creams. I've got the number 7 eye cream. A lot of times you have to be careful with eye creams. A lot of times the eye cream is the same as whatever the moisturizer is. They've just put it in a smaller tube and doubled the price. So whereas you actually have to look for something that's actually been properly made as an eye cream. So like maybe a retinol because it's actually been put in, there's a lower concentration and you need it. And things. So like names, yeah. I do, because yeah, you can look at the ingredients, and if they've all translated into Latin, at least you're all on the same playing field. That, you know, aqua is aqua in is Latin in every other language as well. So yeah, so glycolic acid. So it's a really good beta hydroxy acid. It's a water-based exfoliating acid, so it helps clear off the top layer of sort of dead skin cells. It can be very good either as sort of a cleanse in the cleanser of your routine to help sort of cleanse off your skin, brighten it up. You know, sort of just, yeah, clear off the dead skin cells. You've got the thing, similar ones like the lactic acid. I can't remember the other one. I don't particularly get on with them, so it's not something that I tended to use. But yeah, they can be very, very good, especially on sort of more durable skin. My skin's so sensitive, I can't really cope with them. So obviously, depending on your type of skin, on how often that you can use this. Some people, you know, when I did try using the glycolic acids, I could only get away with using them once a week, other people twice a week. Some people can use them daily, and they seem to need that to keep their skin fresh. Especially if you do seem to sort of get a build up of sort of the skin cells and blackheads and such like. But as I said earlier on, I've used glycolic acid, can be very good on the use on the body. So don't think you're supposed to use the term anymore, but on your arms and your legs, it's called what they used to call chicken skin. or KP, keratinic pilaris. So it's the build-up of sort of bumpy skin on your arm. So it's just sort of the overgrowth of sort of the dead skin cells on your arm, around where your hair follicles and such like are. Glycolic acid can be great on them. Boots do a great sort of glycolic acid body scrub, and glycolic acid body cream. They come in a nice big pink tubes at £4. I used them when I had the KP on my arms. It cleared up. I haven't actually needed to use it again for a while. And also I've also used the glycolic acid product that was supposed to be off my face. I've used it on my underarms. It helps keep the underarms fresh and less need for antiperspirant. I think I've covered quite a few different ingredients. I'm just having a look through all my different products. I've talked about vitamin C. Yeah, I am looking at this and then thinking about the amount of money that I probably wasted over the last 3 years. Although I have to say, these products, it's 3 years worth, and I do make sure that I use the products. I don't know whether I've got any examples of this, but I've even been known to split them in half. So I will chop the tubes and open them up, make sure that I get the last little bit out of tubes. I always make sure that I get everything out. I have to say, my most expensive product that I've ever had is the Allies of Skin. And I know that Rob on Mad About Skin has just done a review of all the Allies of Skin. Well, this is like £115, and most of their products are like in that range. And I know they've got a bog off offer at the moment where you can get two, but it's still £100 to get two products. And I think Rob has a discount code on his channel. The only reason I've got it is because I won it. I won it in a giveaway on the Mad About Skin channel, and I have to say it was amazing. It was absolutely lovely. It got 6 brighteners, 9 antioxidants, 4 peptides. It was brilliant. But yeah, I'm not going to ever spend that amount of money again. Not when I can get something for £6. Although I have to say, this is one that I haven't mentioned yet. Have you all heard of Botox in a bottle? I'm going to check whether anybody's actually still on with me. Anybody heard of Botox in a bottle? The ordinary is a Duraline solution. So a Duraline is a peptide. So peptides are strings of amino acids, which are proteins. So peptides are sort of mini proteins. There's some amino acids in a chain. There's quite a lot of different peptides in skincare. You've got lots of multiple products like that one I've just said with multiple peptides. Because amino acid proteins are quite often water soluble, they will quite often pull water to them. So they will pull water to them, and they act as very good humectants, plumping up the skin. They'll actually get into the cell because the cell will pull them in because they are amino acids. They will actually pull water in with them. They will plump up the skin. So they work great at plumping up the skin and acting as humectant. Some of the amino acids, they will use amino acids that are the breakdown structures from collagen. Now, putting them on the skin, it's not going to cause is not going to create collagen on your skin. But sometimes by tricking your body, by giving the breakdown products of collagen onto your skin, it sort of sends a signal to the rest of your body going, oh, we seem to have a bit of collagen breakdown on the skin. Let's send the building blocks to them and try and build up more collagen. So sometimes you've got peptides that you can put on the skin that will help encourage your skin to regrow more collagen. Then you can also have other peptides that are the ends of amino acids. The ends of the protein that look and go into certain receptors in the body and in the skin. So Botox, which is the injections that you can have to freeze nerve endings. Well, they work by Botox is a protein from the botulinum toxin, and it's a protein that attaches onto a receptor at the end of your nerves, blocks the nerve receptors, and causes the nerve to stop working and the muscle to just relax and not work anymore. So aduralane, the peptide in this, is the actual end bit peptide of the botulinum toxin protein. And it can absorb through the skin because it's small enough, and it can work its way towards those nerve endings to provide a very, very slight action on those nerve endings to reduce a very, very slight reduction in the tension of those muscles as you cause your muscles to frown. I've got to say I've got real Botox in here as well. So you can see that you get the fine lines. So it sort of should slightly reduce the amount of fine lines and wrinkles because it slightly reduces the amount of the muscles actually contract. And they have shown a difference with this, that using this does slightly reduce the amount of fine lines and wrinkles from muscle movements. It's only very slight. It's nothing like that of actual Botox. The reason why I use it, and I am using it totally out of license and out of context, is because I actually have Botox injections to stop my migraines. And there was a study done on the aduralane because of its slight Botox action. They wondered whether it would actually take having this alongside actual Botox injections, whether you could actually mean that the length of time between treatments of Botox could be extended. And so they tested people that had Botox injections in their eye, in the muscles around their eyes for muscle spasms. So I don't know whether you've ever seen people where the muscle spasm or you've had your eye muscle spasm, but that blepharospasm, in very severe cases, ophthalmologists can actually inject Botox into the muscles to prevent that spasm. And then they did a test on people that were having those Botox injections to see whether applying the aduralane solution daily would extend the length of treatment between Botox. And they did actually manage to find that it did actually extend the length of treatment by about 3 to 4 weeks. So I thought, give it a go. When I'm actually having to pay privately for Botox for my migraines, if I can extend the length of time between the treatments, it would be worthwhile. And I have found that I've managed to extend from needing my Botox every 6 months to only needing my Botox every 7 or 8 months. That's obviously number needed to treat of one, my own case study, but there is that potential for others in similar situations. So, but it's promoted for helping with the sort of your fine lines and your 11s on your forehead, just sort of softening them. A lot of people swear by it, but yeah, I use that. Collagen gummies, do they work on anything? Well, I have to say it does totally depend on the quality of the collagen gummies. Collagen gummies come in many shapes and sizes. In fact, Haribo is collagen gummies. So collagen is the protein that makes up your cartilage, your tendons, your skin, and many different things in your body. Gelatin is made by boiling those bits of animals to create the gelatin, which is basically collagen. So one way of people getting collagen is doing bovine broth. So it's your beef broth, which is basically pulling the collagen out. Haribo's are collagen gummies, yeah, so there will be a certain amount of collagen, but you need to be making sure that you have decent quality collagen from decent quality sources. I did talk about this on my previous live stream as well. So, but yeah, so yeah, collagen, you can get three types. So you've got the bovine, which is from cattle. You've got the sometimes from pig, but they usually stick to cattle because it covers more people. The marine, which comes from fish skin. And then you have what's called the vegetarian, but it's not really. So there is no such thing as vegetarian collagen. So they just find the same amino acids and peptides that are found in collagen, get them from a plant source, and then put them to them. Obviously, for your body to absorb collagen, your body will need to break down the actual long chain protein, which can be, well, it can be hundreds or thousands of amino acids long. It's got to break it down into little chunks for your body to absorb it. Your body will then send it around the body, those amino acids, and it will rebuild it wherever your body thinks it is needed. So it may decide that it wants to help create better skin. It may decide it wants to help create better tendons and cartilage. It may just decide, you've got enough protein, I'm just going to excrete it. So yeah, there is potential. If your diet is lacking in the proteins that make up collagen, taking in extra collagen as a supplement may help you in maintaining your skin, nails and joints, but it's no magical cure. So so the 1,500 milligrams, that will be of the actual peptide collagens, so the actual amino acids that make up the collagen. And biotin is one of your B vitamins. It is essential for helping create hair, skin and nails. People keep trying to quote it as boosting hair, skin and nails. It doesn't. Pretty much nobody is ever going to be deficient in biotin. It is such a trace vitamin that we get in sufficient amounts that nobody's ever actually deficient in it. If you were, there's a couple of medical conditions that causes a deficiency in it, but hardly anybody is. So taking biotin for the majority of people makes absolutely no difference. You just excrete it out because nobody's really deficient in it. Yeah, so pig collagen peptides, yeah. So pig collagen peptides, basically it's Haribo, but probably without the sugar content. So the ordinary one, it's called, let's see if I can get it there, argireline, ARGIRELINE. I'll see if I can tag that in the description box below afterwards. yeah. And then put it as collagen gummies, and then yeah, up the price by about 10 times the amount and sell them around, because that's really all they are. And that's the thing with herbal remedies and such like, and supplements. Sometimes they are more expensive because the actual raw ingredients more expensive. Sometimes they're just more expensive because they know the marketing means that they can charge a higher price. And I have to say, if you are going to go for a collagen supplement, make sure you just get it from a simple herbal supplement shop, or from, just a general sort of supermarket. So I know like Tesco's do collagen supplements, Holland and Barrett do supplements. I'm sure in America you could probably get collagen supplements in Walmart. That's all that you really need to be going to. You just need to check on the back whether it's bovine, pig, marine, vegetarian, depending on what you prefer. And that it's about sort of 1,000 milligrams or 1,500 milligrams. It's probably a decent amount. But never, ever go for anybody trying to sell you a really overpriced product, or saying that quite often they'll try and sell you it saying that you need to have vitamin C alongside it. well, if you do need to, why don't you just have a glass of orange juice with it? You don't need to be paying an extra amount of money for just getting a vitamin that you can get easily. I think I've covered quite a lot in this. So it's been very interesting. Thank you all for all of your questions. Has anybody got any more? It's 7:30. I'm willing to go on longer if anybody's got any questions, but otherwise I can end this stream. I may try and do these streams more often. I was planning to do more actual videos, but I actually find chatting with live streams much easier. I find that when I'm trying to record videos, I just want it to be so perfect that I end up editing myself and over editing myself. Whereas with a live stream, you all seem happy with me just imparting my knowledge. And yeah, it seems to be easier. So yeah, thank you all for coming. Oh, Sam had a question. Right, okay, I'll go back up and double check. Oh, body moisturizer, super sensitive, eczema prone skin. I'd just say any basic moisturizer. If you go up to either go to the baby section and just get a baby lotion, just a simple fragrancy baby lotion, or go up to sort of where the pharmacy counter is and have a look at the products that are there, things like Epiderm, Epimax, Cetraban, just a simple basic moisturizer that doesn't have anything exciting in. Having a good quantity of glycerol can be quite good in it. That's very moisturizing, and quite often it can be maybe dropping out what you actually use as soap or off what you use. Instead of using soap, use whatever you're using as the moisturizer. A lot of them say that they can be used as a soap substitute, so you just get a little bit of it, sort of massage it into your hands and use that as a body wash, because it's going to help retain the moisture, and then use it straight after you've had a bath or a shower to hold any moisture in. Was that the question that you wanted me to ask, Sam, or was there another one? Okay, that's good, Sam. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you all for being on here. I've really enjoyed chatting again. It's great having you all come on. Any suggestions for my next live stream? Just let me know. I was thinking there's been a couple of new agents coming out about migraines, so I was thinking I might do a migraine special at some point, because I do know a couple of you have mentioned before that you've got you suffer from migraines. So yeah. So thank you everybody for thank you, Lynn, Sam, Marie, and everybody else that's still on here but probably just hiding in the background. And also thank you for anybody who's on the replay crew that's been on here as well and got to the end. If you can make sure that you if you can put a comment in once the stream has ended into the normal comments, it will help promote my live stream as well, maybe reach more people. And yeah, because I would love to sort of be able to help more people, have more people ask questions. So yeah, thank you very much.